The first rock we're going to look at is granite, and the first characteristic we'll look at is the shade of granite. What are the possibilities for shade? Shade can be very light, light, medium, dark, or very dark. Look at the granite I'm holding up, and what is the shade? Light or dark? So we're going to write light for the shade of granite. Pattern. Pattern can be spotted, striped, layered, or no pattern. Spotted could be like black dots against white. Stripes, you know what stripes look like. Layered would be like looking at the edge of a book on its side or stacked up books. Or we could have no pattern. Looking at granite, would you say granite looks like it is spotted, striped, layered, or no pattern? So we'll put spotted. Then the next characteristic is the shine. So shine can be glassy, glittery, flashy, or dull. Glassy could be as clear as glass, so we might be able to see through it, but it can also be glassy if it looks like scratched up glass. So even if it lets a little bit of light into it, we still call it glassy. Glittery would be like little points of light, like the stars in the night sky. Flashy would be shiny on the surface, but doesn't let light into it. And dull is no particular shine. For our granite, we have no particular shine, so we're going to write dull. The next rock we're looking at is called gneiss. When you look at gneiss, is there a silent letter? That's right, the G is silent. So when we're looking at gneiss, at the shade of gneiss, we notice that gneiss could be light like granite, but it's also sometimes a little bit darker. So we're going to write light to medium for gneiss. The pattern. Look at the pattern of gneiss, and we see, is that spotted, striped, layered, or no pattern? That's correct, it looks striped. And usually no particular shine again, so we're going to put dull. So you learned earlier that all rocks are made of, that's right, all rocks are made of minerals. And what that means is that if you look at a rock like gneiss or granite, you see dark parts of the rock, those are probably a dark mineral, and the light parts of rock will be a different mineral, maybe one or two different minerals. And one of the light colored minerals in gneiss and granite is a mineral called quartz. But you can often find quartz by itself. And when you see the mineral quartz, would you say that is light or dark? That's correct, that's light. And the pattern of quartz, since it doesn't have any dark minerals or to make little dots or stripes, and it's not layered, then we're going to say it has no pattern. And then it does have a special shine, so we notice that sometimes we have a piece of quartz that we can see through completely, a piece of crystal. And sometimes you can't see quite through it, but it still lets some light into it, like the one you see on the right in the middle on this picture. And so we would call that shine glassy. And our next rock is pronounced amphibolite. Do you know another word that has the same amphib in it? That's right, amphibian. Amphibian. So what kind of animal is an example of an amphibian? A frog, toad, salamander, those are all amphibians. So amphibolite, looking at the shade of amphibolite, is that light or dark? That's correct, that's a dark shade. And when we look at the amphibolite, we see some of them look like they have no pattern, and then a few, like the one in the lower right corner, we can also see look striped. So we're going to write no pattern or striped. And most of the amphibolite is going to have no particular shine, so we're going to write dull. And our last rock is pronounced schist. Schist has a shade that's between the shade of the granite and the shade of the amphibolite. And so we call that kind of a shade medium. Schist also has a pattern that's hard to see from the pictures. If you hold it up and look at the edge of it, you're going to see that it looks a lot like stacked up books or stacked up papers. And so, of course, that would be what pattern? That would be layered. We look at the shine of schist. It has a very special shine. And the shine of schist has lots of little points of light, so we call that glittery. And the reason schist is glittery is because it has a mineral in it called mica. And mica is actually what they make glitter out of. So if you ever notice toothpaste that has glitter in it, check and see if it has an ingredients list. And on the ingredients list, you will see the word mica. So mica is also what makes glitter if you see glitter in the ground. The mica also gives it a special color. So we haven't used our special notes column yet. All the rocks we've looked at were either black or white or black and white. But schist really has a color. And sometimes it's the color like my wedding ring. And sometimes it's more of a silver color. So we can write gold or silver color.